Prototype, Sturm, used a cheap turboprop engine, but he's impossible to control. All he does is charge. Too much power output from the reactor? Completely invincible head-on, but the dumbass managed to chop his own damn arms off on the propeller. Also issues with overheating from running for long periods of time. Conclusion? A complete failure. That's gotta be the fan thing that scared the hell out of me earlier. Soon, the fan man's gonna come blowing through a door, he's gonna scare the hell out of me. And then I'm gonna beat the hell out of him! Oh my god, I was right! Fully grown male corpse used. Removed heart and implanted Kadu. Muscle stimulation via electric shock was successful. Brain dead, so no high cognitive ability. Only moves by destructive instinct. Then stops. The next one. Attached headgear to the cranium. Electrodes confirm stable brain waves. Experiment 1. Lichen fight. Was dismantled and eaten within 3 minutes. Issues with destructive and murderous capabilities. Next one. Replaced lower part of arm with drill. Not enough output for effective movement. Need live bodies, perhaps. Next one. Implanted Kadu reactor into the chest. Output greatly increased. Experiment 2 lichen fight. Destroyed 3 lichens in 1 minute. Good results, but issues with reactor durability. May stop functioning if the reactor is destroyed. So it wasn't enough for these psychos to figure out a way to use biochemical weaponry to make zombies out of people. They had to then attach drills to their arms, just to maximize performance. Speaking of which, Soldat enhancement, Soldat jet. Attached a jetpack and head stabilizers to a Soldat. Greatly improves mobility. Experiments prove limited flight capabilities. No long distance flight, but now possible to navigate rugged terrain. Soldat enhancement, Soldat Panzer. Attached aluminum alloy shielding to a Soldat to protect the chest reactor and exposed flesh. Experimentation proves he's invincible. Oh, look at that. A typo. Hire me as an editor, Capcom. Invincible? They'd probably claim it was just the stupid government employee. It was his typo. And, I mean, it might be, because look at these guys talking about putting tanks on. Experimentation proves he is invincible against regular firearms. Armor doesn't hold up against strong blasts. Further development needed. Miranda is abominable. Her deceit knows no bound. We're merely a bunch of failed Kadu experiments to her. I was just lucky I had more affinity to this stuff than the other poor schmucks in the village. So, she still calls me her son. What a joke. I'll never forgive her for what she did to me. That crazy bitch has never been right in the head. She can't see a difference between experiment and family. Miranda didn't just change my body, she took my dignity. If I don't kill her, then my life will never be my own. Now I'll try to sound like Heisenberg, because I think that's who wrote this. Still, she may be crazy, but she's also powerful. She can turn into anyone using the Megamycete. The trick is that brat, Rose. If I could access her power... then maybe... Speaking of, the kid's dad, Ethan, has a pretty interesting body himself. Maybe I could get him to help me out. So he likes my body, does he? To Hound Wolf Squad. The sweep of the factory is complete. No proof of any connection with the organization. Guess this just wasn't our lucky day. I did manage to get my hands on a number of documents disclosing some of Miranda's experiments, which support our previous theories. She seems to have infected herself with the Megamycete, which has granted her a number of abilities, including mimicry. She can control her cells and transform herself to look like anyone or anything. Wanna bet that was Chris? Chris was Miranda just now? He was being too nice, man. She disguised herself as Mia and infiltrated the Winters' home. Her objective was clearly to kidnap Rose. Maybe she thought she could control Rose easier if she looked like her mom. Also, if she went into the kitchen and cooked dinner for everybody first, that would be more convincing. And read her a book. When we attacked, it put a little damper on her plans, so she mimicked a corpse. She then revived herself in the transport truck, killed everyone on board, and took off with Rose. Things didn't go the way she had originally planned, but in the end she still got what she wanted. Until now. It's time to rendezvous and blow this place sky high. This might turn into a fight with Heisenberg, but I think I found something useful. He left one of his little toys laying around, and it's even made from metal, polymer, composite, which he can't control. Time to turn the tables. Your boy, Alpha. Oh, it's one of the Kadu. These are the things that they use to...
So they're using this to control the bioweapons.
Yeah, exactly. Cracking some books? Carl Heisenberg. He's got an incredibly favorable Kadu infinity and his brain functions are normal. Has electric organs, similar to the electric ray, Narke Japonica. These electric organs are connected to the subject nervous system, can therefore pass and control electricity throughout the entire body, allowing the control of magnetic fields, which is used to move metal. Splendid specimen, but still an unfit vessel for Ava. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Heisenberg. Donna Benviento. Favorable, not as favorable as Heisenberg, favorable. Normal, but with severe mental illness. Physically, she's no different from a regular human. However, she can secrete a signal-producing substance, which controls plants infected by the mutamycete. I said it right this time. When humans absorb the pollen from a particular flower, she can cause them to have hallucinations. However, she is mentally underdeveloped and has divided her Kadu among her dolls in order to control them from a distance. An unfit vessel for Ava. Fishman time. Salvatore Moreau, my favorite. Brain functions surprisingly low. The Kadu has caused drastic changes to internal organs, transforming them into organs similar to fish-like gills and a swim bladder. Another subject with irregular cell division, causing him to transform into a giant fish. The subject is unable to control this transformation. Too many defects. An unfit vessel for Ava. And finally, Lady Dimitrescu. Alcina, that was her name. A most favorable Kadu affinity and normal brain functions. Regeneration rate is incredibly fast. The subject can heal any external wound within seconds and grow her nails into claws in mere moments. Rapid regeneration also means an increased body size. Oh, that's why. Oh. Note, due to a hereditary blood disease, the subject must ingest human flesh and blood on a regular basis to maintain regeneration properties. I suspect that if the subject's regeneration is not properly balanced, then she may mutate uncontrollably. An unfit vessel for Ava. So now we know a lot more about our best friends. Is that... okay, alright. Easter eggs, maybe? Stuff I just don't understand? Dear Miranda, my deepest apologies for not meeting you in person. I would love nothing more than to visit your quaint village once more. However, I'm incredibly busy. Then again, I suppose for an immortal woman such as yourself, you no longer remember this poor, half-dead medical student in the snow. I have always cherished the revelations I came to 15 years ago when I stayed in your village. I was inspired by your research. To think, one could transform a human by infecting them with an organism. Positively visionary. I knew that with that knowledge, I could achieve my own vision for the next step in human evolution. Even after 2 world wars, and humanity on the cusp of another, my conviction never wavered. I realized, however, through the many nights of intellectual talks you and I shared, that your conviction differed from mine. You hoped to bring back a single dead person, while I aimed to change the world. I was so intellectual, and you were just sort of intellectual. Your experiments on the mold would not have aided me in my endeavor to achieve an exponential infection. I thought a virus would be more effective. This is why, my dear, I had to leave you. I still regret never telling you goodbye. Oh, for God's sake. My apologies for reminiscing. I actually have news that I thought might please you. I have found the key to evolution. The progenitor. A virus found in Africa. We going back to RE5 here? I plan to start a company with friends and colleagues dedicated to the virus's research. I will call it Umbrella. Umbrella. Just like the symbol in the cave that we spoke about. I am one step closer to making my vision a reality. I hope you will be able to achieve your goal someday too. You taught me so much, and for that, I will be forever in your debt. Sincerely, your lifelong student, Oswald Will E. Spencer. I apologize, guys, but I gotta read them all. You know, we gotta know the story, and I do my best. My Ava, it's been 100 years since I lost you to the Spanish flu. I was so powerless back then, but now I can bring you back to life from the megamycete. I had to test your new vessel's regenerative abilities. I took her apart and revived her in the megamycete regulator, the giant's chalice. All that is left is to merge her with the Megamycete. The ceremony can finally begin. After I lost you, I was so stricken with grief that I wandered into a cave to die. I so wanted to be with you again. And that's when I found it. The Megamycete, completely by accident. When I touched the black substance, my mind was overcome with knowledge. Oh, the intelligent talks we could have. The Megamycete breaks down and absorbs the consciousness of those who have perished. I knew that if your consciousness was in there too, then there would be a way to bring you back. I just needed the right vessel. When I returned to the village, I implanted the villagers with mold from the Megamycete. That way, I could control them, experiment on them. I have experimented on hundreds of people just to find you the perfect vessel. I even tried to increase the efficiency of finding a vessel by creating a parasite I called Kadu. I'm going too far. Yet none of my experiments came to fruition. There were some, like Alcina, who were close to being perfect, but most turned into lichens. I was once approached by an organization who said they would assist me. I gave them some of the mold and your DNA, but all they created was another defect, Eveline. Then again, not a complete failure. I learned of Rose thanks to them, and I knew she would be the perfect vessel. There was some interference, but I was able to verify her suitability. Now my research is finally complete. Eva, I've waited too long to see you again. We're getting all the tie-ins here, man. This is pretty great. This is pretty great stuff.